Yes, let there be pallets. I got 40 of them. I've already torn apart a bunch of them. I've figured out a method of using a sawzall that I haven't seen posted before. So when I do it again, I'm going to video it so you guys can see how I'm taking them apart and getting, tons of slabs. Some great 2x4s. Let's see where those 2x4s are going. Roof. I have been working on the roof. I'm adding a cap to the 4x4 conglomeration. So it's basically making it a 2x6 out of sheer size. But what it's doing is that top layer respreads the weight distribution so that it carries more weight than if it wasn't there, obviously. But, what I'm saying is that alternate where the breaks in the wood are. So if we look right under here, I've got a metal bracket holding this side, but that side is on the end of that side, but this side is into that wood, and I've screwed in from that side, so this whole thing is being held by more than just that. The weight distribution carries the whole thing. So when you're building, you want to make sure your stuff ain't gonna fall, because a roof like this covered in plastic, when it snows, is going to be holding some weight, and we want to be able to disperse the weight so that there's no single one spot that's being the low spot that's carrying most of the weight, because that's where you'll fail. So I'm a little worried about how that one's coming out, because it does bow down naturally a little bit. So I might consider, when I build the tank for the water here, putting an extra support that goes up and holds there from the top of the tank. We'll see. I don't really want to add another 4x4 just because, but a 2x4 might do the trick. I'm also going to add a brace like that so that it goes from that corner to that corner, because right now the only thing that's actually holding that piece of wood to that piece of wood is that little lip, and that's not enough for when it gets weight on it. So we're going to do more to it. I probably should have used one of the metal brackets there, but I didn't. But it's okay. I'll support the weight from underneath, and then it's still going to get a cap. I haven't gotten this far yet. It's going to get a cap on it that'll help disperse the actual weight coming down on that spot. You can already hang from this beam, so I'm not really worried about it. So seriously solid, happy with it. I'm going to work on finishing the cap pieces of 2x4s that are connecting all the pieces parts. Oh, here's something fun. When I got this part together, from there to there, I had a piece of wood that was almost perfect, but wasn't. So what I did was I found a piece of wood that actually fit perfectly, hammered it in, and so I've got this little thing hanging down. Well, Ian, what are you going to do with that? What good is that? I'm going to take a thermometer and hang it right there. So that'll be cool. These little tiny quirks that you run into when you're building stuff, use them to your advantage. Have fun when you're building, because I mean, it's your building and you can make this anything you want it to be, however you want it. Someone asked me, hey, do you need permissions for attaching stuff to the side of your garage? Well, technically, this is a lean-to. Those beams and things, not a single one of them is actually nailed into the garage. The thing that they're resting on is, I could technically replace each one of them with a 4x4 and go down to the ground, and it wouldn't be touching the garage at all, but it's a lean-to, and so I'm not actually attaching anything permanently to the garage. It's just leaning to it, and that it saves a lot of troubles. You don't need as there's places where there's government permissions and licenses and things like that. You got to get inspected and all that. So if you're in an area like that where you're having all those kind of issues, you got to plan it, put it on paper, blah blah blah. I don't like to live like that. I'm glad I don't live like that. But if I did, I'd probably have just gone ahead and put it to the ground and make this a separate shed building and put it just inches off of the wall. But it's no big deal. The plastic, I can just caulk all around the top, and it's not actually nailed to or sealed to the building. It's just, airtight, keeping the water out. So it'll work. It's going to be good. Anyway, that was an issue that someone brought up to me when they were visiting. Said, hey, what about the permits on this thing? Oh, I live in a township. I'm not really needing anything other than my desire to put something together that's gonna work for me. If any inspector came in to look at this, they go, wow, you're really overbuilding this building. But yeah, that's kind of my whole point. I want to overbuild this to the point where it can't fall down. So do that. Plan to build your building as if it's gonna serve you for a long time. Even if you put it together and it looks jinky and hokey, once the wall is over that stuff, it'll look perfectly normal. You don't have to worry about that shit. Oh, wait, should I swear? Does that get me in trouble somewhere? I don't know. I don't put these as for kids, so I guess I'm allowed to say shit. I don't know. Anyway, I think that is going to be this video. I've wasted enough time standing here walking around in circles showing the bits and pieces of things that I've gotten done. I should probably finish getting these things. Oh, one more thing. Those little tip ends that are from the tops of the things that go above where I want them to. You can sawzall them off. And guess what you get when you do that? Let me show you. Where did they go? Well, here's one I fell to the ground here. You get a little clip. And that little clip can be used just about in any purpose. I'll be able to, hey look, add support there with just a little clip. And it's just a piece of waste for me because it's already being used once. Now part of it gets used again. Anyway, yeah. Use everything. That's the point. I mowed the entrance. Everyone thought that was the entrance until I put a big wall there. And they were like, how are you getting in there with all that weeds growing? I said, I'm gonna mow it. It's gone. Still have all that dirt to get rid of. Get it into there. I have not done that yet. It's been raining a lot here. Anyway, I'm done babbling. Aren't you glad? Tell all your friends I'm done babbling. Tell them to hit the like button because I'm done babbling. Whatever. All right, I'm done. I'm going to work. Goodbye.